I'm Kate Carter-Evans. Thank you for joining me today for the SHOKAY Knitting video series. Today we're going to be talking about yarn. Yarn is one of my favorite things to talk about, and today I've got some beautiful yarns to show you. The first thing I wanted to show you is a wool yarn. In general, I really suggest that people use natural fibers for their knitting, especially for your first knitting project. Wool is a great choice. There's lots of different kinds of wool. This particular one is a nice bulky yarn, and this one you can see that there's lots of different really subtle changes in the texture and in the thickness of the yarn. That's because this yarn is made by hand. Hand-spun yarn is really prized by knitters because it creates a really beautiful textured fabric, and it's a very unique and special kind of yarn. The other two yarns that I wanted to show you, this one is SHOKAY's Shambhala yarn. This one is a mill-spun yarn, and this is made from 100% yak down. If you look at this yarn and you untwist it a little bit, you can see that it's made up of many smaller units, and these are called plies. And what a ply is any strand that is combined with other strands to make a yarn. This bulky yarn that I showed you at the beginning, this one's made of 2 plies. So if I twist this apart a little bit, I can separate out these 2 strands here, and you see that there's 2 of them. So that makes this a 2-ply yarn. Plies are useful because they add strength and durability to a yarn. With a wool like this, 2 plies is fine, but with a really fine fiber like a yak down, it's a good idea to have more small plies twisted together to form the yarn, because the yak fiber is so soft that it's a little bit delicate. And when you do a multi-ply yarn like this, not only do you get a yarn that's really nice and round and gives you really good stitch definition when you work with it, but it also ensures that you're going to have a lifetime of use out of your knitted thing. The last yarn that I wanted to show you, this is SHOKAY's Orient yarn. This is a blend of yak and bamboo fiber, and this yarn is really, really nice for summer knits because the bamboo keeps it from being too warm while maintaining it as a really, really soft, lovely yarn. So this is just a quick introduction to the wonderful world of yarn. When you're picking a yarn for a project, you want to think a little bit about what needle size is going to go with your yarn. And in general, the smaller the yarn, the smaller the needle. If I was working with these guys, which are a 3.5 millimeter needle, these would not be a good choice for the bulky yarn. They're just going to be too small. They probably work with the Shambhala, but they're definitely a good size for the Orient. But again, when you're trying to match a yarn and a needle size, one of the things that's really helpful is to look at the tag and see what needle size the manufacturer recommends. And then it's always really important to test when you get home, because there's an interaction of the natural tension that you knit at, the needles, and the yarn that's going to result in gauge. And gauge differs from person to person, differs from yarn to yarn, and needle to needle. That one of the things that people find is that a 3.5 millimeter wooden needle may give them a slightly different gauge from a 3.5 metal needle. So it's something where you just need to check your gauge and always start by knitting a swatch. The last thing that I want to mention about yarn is setting up to use your yarn. If your yarn came in a skein like this, it's going to be important to wind it into a ball. Because what a skein is the yarn has been wrapped in a great big circle. And you want to untie the ends and then wind it into a ball. It's not really possible to knit directly from a skein without ending up with an amazing tangled mess. So it's the kind of thing where you just do need to stop and wind it. You can have a friend hold the skein out like this, or you can put it on the back of a chair, or there are pieces of equipment called umbrella swifts that will hold your yarn for you while you're winding it. So that is a very brief introduction to the wonderful world of yarn.